everybody, it's Diamond Kitty Gaming, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. We are once again playing Sardinia Piedmont. I'm hoping that today we might be able to start the Risorgimento, I'm not sure how you say it. I'm still not sure how you say it. I should look it up tonight. I'm not sure where we are again. Oh, we have to wait till, like, December. Okay. An electrical telegraph. How nice. I can now send telegraphs. How fun. Electrical generator. Ooh. Sorry I didn't give you guys a lot of time to react to this one. I should have posted something earlier, to be honest. By the way, when I was playing the Sioux, they somehow managed to, like, Utah got into, like, very high levels of rebellion, right? But then the United States somehow just managed to, you know, bring it right back down. So I'm not quite sure how they did that. I want to know. Utah War. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Daily compliance gain. Peaceful transition. So this is what they did. At least I think it is. Probably need some maritime. Probably need some boats. I'll need some boats. So, yeah, let's do that. I can do doctrines. Ooh. Well, why not, I suppose. Maritime. The urgent exigency for modern steam or other screw-driven vessels to substitute the since antiquated models of the Sardinian fleet has become ever apparent to the Sardinian legislature ever since Cavour's inauguration in 1850. Efforts to revitalize the maritime capabilities of Sardinia Piedmont by the Cavour cabinet have been substantial, with many preeminent warships being added to Sardinia's minimal array of naval assets. As acting Minister of the Navy in 1853, Cavour signed a series of accords with the United Kingdom, including a variety of orders for vessels to be constructed in the United Kingdom for the Sardinian fleet, including that of 4 advanced screw-propeller-driven steam frigates. 2 of these vessels have since been commissioned in the Regia Marina. The dockyards of La Spezia first rose to prominence during the dominance of Napoleon over the Ligurian Republic. Since then, we have used the yard to meet some of our needs, such as during the Crimean War, but since then our needs for support of our navy have grown. To support an expansion of our navy, we must support the expansion of the dockyards and La Spezia, and then we will find our place in the Mediterranean. Any song with that leitmotif right there. Anything with that. That leitmotif right there, that really peaceful leitmotif, is just, it's wonderful. I love it. Bavaria wants to play safe. For the current time, the Kingdom of Bavaria stated today that it will stay out of major European issues. While Bavaria wants to continue to play a role in German affairs, it does not want to get involved in any prominent foreign affairs. This choice, on the other hand, does not appear to have surprised anyone, especially given the size of the major powers that border the small kingdom, namely the Empire of France, the Kingdom of Prussia, and the Austrian Empire. Bavaria, ostensibly unwilling to abandon its isolated policies and culture, prefers to concentrate on German regions that, rather than compete with neighboring powerhouses that surround it and its allies. A wise decision. A wise decision indeed. That's one less person we're going to have to worry about. Are we a secondary power? I don't know what kind of power level we are. Sardinia Piedmont's parliament. Open the window to modify and vote the laws and policies enacted on the nations. The only way to change them in a democracy, and votes are left to the parliament to decide, but of course you can sway those votes with a little... Okay. Sure, we can do that. Yo! Oh my gosh! So look at it all! Look at everything! We have so much! Civil liberties, economic, population, internal, but... Holy crap! Whoa! How about mobilization laws? We should, oh. Can be only used once every... You lose political stability. Oh, I can't do that without... Vote for this reform. I see. I'm assuming we can check on what these things will do, right? So, like, if I go... full equality seems like a nice thing to do. Let's go with this and... Oh, can I not? I'd love to be able to vote for this. Why can't I? It seems so wonderful. Why not? Oh, is it because of political power then? What is it? This law can be reformed in our parliament. Okay. Well, I don't know why I can't do it, but I'm going to get there eventually. Let's see. What else can we change? Because we should be able to we should change something. We can do that. So... Hello. Hello. I told you guys Taurus might be checking in. Oh, what an interesting thing. Oreo thins. These are not the things we requested at all. So we're going to have to stack two.
They're not bad.
I wish they had the full ones.
Me too.
Mm. This sounds great. We should absolutely vote on this. This seems like a good idea. Stability. Chat, Filippo Chas and Ethan. I believe Ethan has been in one of our streams before. Hello, Filippo Chas and Ethan. Subsidize the La Spezia docks. Okay. We now have
I'm chewing on Oreos and Snowbell's eating her food right next to me. Is that cute? She's so cute. So how's it going?
We've practically just begun.
Sanusi. What's that?
It's an African tribe.
Wow. Sounds like a bottle of wine. Sanusi. Kalbahaga. That sounds like beer. Wow. All these different kinds of names and stuff. I mean, that's a movie right there. It's Banda Tribe. His name is Tribe. Banda Tribe.
All these names. I mean, you don't hear these
No.
because colonization. It's horrible, actually. I mean, all the tribal original names
Yeah.
that you don't get to hear.
Yeah.
Sardinia Piedmont began subsidizing broad rail projects in the mid-1840s, connecting many major economic sectors throughout the nation, such as Genoa and Turin, which in turn lowered the cost of the transportation of goods and persons, as well as provided a broad array of occupations to support middle-class Piedmontese citizens. Cavour's cabinet has identified connecting Turin to French and Swiss economic centers such as Geneva and Lyon of primary economic concern. Cool. Good. And do coal mines. We're really just going to keep boosting autocratic support. I have no idea how any of this works, by the way. This voting thing, it looks like I might win this. I don't know. Regardless, universal suffrage is cool. I think, at least, I'm doing the right thing, right? I'm making everyone equal, like one step at a time. Or is this the wrong thing and I've accidentally made every... Winning results. It is the day the government decides on the future of the Universal Suffrage Act of 1858. All members from the different parties represented voted on what they believe to be the right path forward for our nation, whether we like the result or not. This vote is the representation of the will of our constituents. After a careful counting of the votes, the final results are yay 133 to nay 123 by 10 votes. Geez, it's a success. One, political stability. I gain a little bit of a power gain down, and I do drift ideologies But I can hire new people very fast, and I get stability out of this. So, all in all, gonna call that a success. Oh dear. Look how cheap it is to hire advisors now, guys. With that cheap thing, I think we've just retained our political power from earlier. This is wonderful. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go get those frigates, I think, from Britain, and then because we bought some frigates, as I said earlier when we did our naval thing. We're gonna do frigates, and then we're gonna start the countdown. We're gonna start the 35-day focus called War Preparations. And hopefully, we can start this. Maria Adelaide and Duca di Genova arrive in La Spezia. With Carlo Alberto and Vittorio Emanuele's two sister ships finally docking into Piedmontese harbors, the original accord signed with the United Kingdom in 1853 has now been entirely fulfilled, marking a notable milestone in Sardinian maritime rearmament. The 4 frigates will form the backbone of the Sardinian Navy until more formidable models can be commissioned. They'll make foreboding flagships for the Regian Armina. Cool. Good. Bring forth the tanks. The countdown has started and more preparations with Austria are on the horizon. So the innovative thing is just speed and armor, which we don't have yet anyways. I think I'm going to go with the traditional army, because this is just boost to our economics, which this is a military thing, so why would we need boost to economics in our military? This is artillery, which we don't use, I don't think, so we're going to go down traditional army. The failure of the Zwei-Kaiser-Treffen. Today, the Stuttgarter operas remained silent, with both Charles Louis Napoleon Bonaparte II from the French Empire and Alexander II from the Russian Empire having declined the invitation of Wilhelm I from the Kingdom of Württemberg. No political discussions between the two empires could take place. Commenting on this event, Wilhelm II expresses disappointment about this event, but would still be open for a meeting should the two big powers decide to do otherwise one day. Wait, does that mean that Russia and France are falling? That's not good for us. Well, let's not think about it. Chile's entered a civil war. How unfortunate. The Emperor of Brazil declares his South American ambitions. After many discussions in their parliament, the government of the Brazilian Empire elected a war-led and traditionalist government. This new government expects to expand and reconquer their former lands. The European powers are scared to act because of the Monroe Doctrine, but even some British diplomats have announced taking protective measures. What are they trying to do? I have no idea. I have no idea what they're trying to do at all. Let me just get up for a moment. Okay. Oh, I got back just in time. Okay. Promotions in the military. Promotion to the military. As a war with Austria looms on the horizon, Victor Emmanuel and members of the military leadership have recommended promotions be handed out to officers in the Army and Navy who will need to adopt leadership roles in the coming wars. Many officers have proved themselves worthy of a promotion, and many more may prove their worth in the upcoming war. Okay. Wars and conflicts. In order for the Risorgimento to be completed and an Italian nation formed, there will be battles fought and bloodshed. Enemies exist both outside and inside the Italian peninsula who would like to stop our goal of unification. If there is one thing that will decide the fate of the Italian peninsula, it is war. Austrians demand mobilization. War imminent. Austria has demanded our total mobilization after our troop movements near their border. This is our opportunity to defeat the Austrians and remove them from the Italian peninsula, as this war will be a defensive one. For us, this means we'll be able to call our allies and be seen on the just side with the rest of the European world for Italy. Authorize the production of the Alps. Ooh, okay. Hunters Regiment. Hunters of the Alps. Huh. Alright, well the Hunters of the Alps are good. That means we have 5 people to guard the border with them. Ooh. Yeah, here come the Austrians. Hey, France, you will protect us, right? Yeah, we're gonna need the Piedmontese National Guard too. Oh, that is a lot of troops. France will protect us, right? France is going to help. Well, at least the French Empire is going to war with, you know, a couple of things. Oh, the French and Spanish went to war with, that's Vietnam, right? Oh, it is. Oh, well... How's France gonna get there? Oh. Well, I guess they probably have a... Yeah, okay. The Spanish and French kind of, like, teamed up to get there. Alright. That makes sense. Is it just me, or the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom actually winning this time? Because it kind of looks like the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom is, winning? Clear space for industry. Agriculture in Sardinia. Agrarianism has constituted the vast majority of the Sardinian economy for as long as many can remember. As the economies of Europe began to shift towards industrialization, and Piedmont along with it, the island of Sardinia has been left underdeveloped and to be exploited for resources to fuel mainland industries. The situation in Sardinia is considered volatile by much of the Piedmontese ruling class, hampering any efforts to change the economic or political makeup of the island any further. The question remains on whether industrialization efforts should be forwarded to the island or if it can remain strictly a strategic installment and be of use in other sectors of our economy. I think it's probably best not to... Yeah, sure, just best not to agitate them any further. Just let them, let's just let them chill. Just let them chill. Well, go Taiping, Heavenly Kingdom, I guess. Wow. What a wonderful, yeah. The Qing is losing. And normally the Qing doesn't lose to the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. But it looks like they are. So that's pretty cool. How close are we to war again? Oh, 29 days. Less than a month. Oh. How unfortunate is it that we should be brought to the brink of war? We're gonna need this manpower. In fact, I think we're gonna need a lot of different pieces of manpower. In fact, I think I'm gonna need to call a thing for we're gonna need to reform the country and like mobilization laws. Yeah, extensive. This is urgent. We'll relax the mobilization right after this war, but, voting results. Oh dear. Directly? Immediately? It's a failure. Oh no. Oh, I should have said vote in a month. I've just wasted a lot of political power. Oh, this isn't good. and the war is imminent in Austria. Okay, everyone. Get ready. I'm gonna save the game real quick. I have another fin. It feels like these Oreos have less... I feel like they have less cookies in them, despite them being called thins. So after our first two viewers came, we had C. London. So Romanian Army Music. Have you ever played Victoria the Victoria 2 before? No, I haven't. Steam, hello! Hello, sorry I'm late. Got home 5 minutes ago. C. London, from what? My paper route and McDonald's. Cool. So how's everyone's days been? I have been doing wonderful, Steam. How have you been doing? Hey, try voting when the war happens. Oh, that might be a good idea. Voting? Yo! Yeah, vote for conscription thing when the war starts. Okay. Yeah, that might be a good idea because more people might understand. Yeah. You're welcome, Steam. Okay, you guys ready? It's happening in like less than 10 days now. This upcoming fight. I really hope France comes to the rescue. There's probably gonna be something that like pops up that calls them into the war somehow. Woo. Yeah. It's probably gonna be something that pops up and calls them into the war, right? But it doesn't look like they're doing anything, and Austria is. And that is mildly scary that France isn't doing anything and Austria is. They did just get into a war with Vietnam as well, so I swear if they move their troops and I lose this just because, like, France just decided to, like, abandon us completely, this is going to be really, really annoying if that happens. Okay. 2 days. 1 day. Climate change? That was the honest one. Okay, yeah, we've read this one already. So, this guy, like, asks about climate change or something. A cry of woe. In parallel with the Plombières Accords, and with the assured backing of France from his throne, Vittorio Emanuele beseeched to hear a metaphorical cry of woe from the Italian people against the tendrils of Austrian oppression. citing the looming threat of aggression being used by Austria to tyrannize the Italian minor states into adhering to Austrian interests. In particular, as of recent, Austria's extortation of Francis V and Modena's refusal to accept Napoleon III as the rightful Emperor of France. With nationalist sentiment at an all-time high in the central Italian states, this statement is sure to cause unrest and bring upon us the fury of the Austrian Empire, just as planned. May Austria's diluted ambitions be shattered under the heels of our allied forces. Here we go! To arms! Okay, yeah, there is a thing that just, like, France just does this. As anticipated, the Austrians have demanded our immediate demobilization over outrage in regards to Emmanuel II's proclamation. The Austrian fear the power of united Italy against an Italy united against their tyrannical reign of terror. May our fight for the unification be won in the battlefield with the help of our allies and the will of our people. What a wonderful time, and France's war between Austria and Sardinia-Piedmont. After a failure to demobilize their army, Sardinia-Piedmont has been declared war on by Austria in what many are referring to as an act of aggression. Sardinia-Piedmont is joined in their war by their ally France as the smaller Italian nation attempts to correct their failure in 1848 against Austria and further their goal to unite the Italian peninsula under one nation. Sardinia-Piedmont is expected to take the Austrian lands of Sardinia, Venetia, and the France may gain Savoy or other lands they have a claim on. This will be an interesting war. Great, the Perugian volunteers, or this, so I'm not going to do that yet. So do we have anything else that we can do right now? Boost army morale. I can do that, cool. If I need to. Is this core territory of mine? It's claimed territory of mine. The Bergen Massacre. Whoa! Inspired by the ongoing Austro-Sardinian War, disgruntled citizens all across the Italian peninsula have turned to revolt and protest. News has spread of the world as a specific event occurring in the city of Perugia in the Pulse Plates. Over 800 Perugians joined the Sardinian army at the outbreak of the war, and the city itself was declared in revolt, governed by a Perugian insurrectionist committee, and swearing allegiance to Victor Emmanuel. After the order for the Swiss troops, led by Colonel Anthony Schmidt, to advance in the city, the regiment was met by a defense by the populace almost 1,000 strong. After the initial defensive line broke, troops advanced into the city. The foreign regiment proceeded to... Oh, wow, they just destroyed the entire city. Jeez. What's the Pope thinking? I have no idea. But that must have failed for us. Regardless. The French Empire is called Great France. Do you have you have a bunch of troops, right? You can help us, right? France? You can help us, right? Oh my god, they all declared why? Why would you all randomly decide that you would just... You fools. Revolts in the Italian states. Following the outbreak of war between Sardinia and Austria, the minor states who had been dragged into the war by Austria have experienced revolutions by disgruntled citizens. In Florence, the Grand Duke has been deposed and the Italian tricolor can be seen flying from buildings in the streets. Sardinian soldiers will occupy the nation until the end of the war at least. The Grand Duke Leopold has fled to Austria with the rest of his family. In Parma and Modena, the people have overthrown the monarchies there and unified into a singular state. The people there cry out for a unification with Sardinia and the formation of a greater Italian nation. The outcome of the war will determine the survival of these states, and whether Sardinia will unite the Italian peninsula and create a new power in Europe. So we got so Parma and... Oh yeah, Parma and Modena just kind of straight up just warred us, and then and then decided to help us. Yeah. Please, go ahead, France. Occupation of Tuscany. With the Habsburg rules, Duchy of Tuscany joined the war against us. Within a short period of time, the streets were filled with the people of Tuscany flying the Italian tricolor. Disillusioned by the autocratic policies of the Habsburgs, the people of Tuscany have opted to unite with our nation. With the war ongoing, there should be no international opposition to this, although after the war, things could change. Tuscans overthrow the Grand Duke. Following a declaration of war against Sardinia, the Tuscan people have risen up and deposed the Grand Duke of Tuscany, Leopold II. Being dragged into the war by dynastic and historical alliances, the Tuscan people could be seen in the streets flying the Italian tricolor. As of now, it is expected Sardinia and Piedmont will occupy Tuscany until the war is over, per the wish of the people of Tuscany. We now have Florence as an ally. News reached Turin today of the massacre of the Signoli family by the Austrian military. During the reconnaissance prior to the Battle of Montebello, an Austrian patrol found a gunpowder flask inside a home in Torcello Versati in the south of Lombardy. The family was arrested and brought to Castigio, where Field Marshal Karl von Urban decided they would be shot. The family, ranging from ages 14 to 60, were shot in the side of the road and left to die. Oh dear. Garibaldi's hunters have sworn revenge against Urban, and in Turin, Cavour has begun the preparations to begin a judicial inquiry. Indeed. Let us sue the Austrian Empire. Well, we're gonna be in the war with them, and we're gonna be at war with them, but we're also gonna be. Cavour calls on the judiciary. After news of the Signoli massacre reached Turin, the politicians of Sardinia and Piedmont were appalled. It did not take long for Cavour to demand a judicial inquiry into the matter. His plan is to send the findings to the foreign representatives in Turin and encourage international action against Marshal Urban. Well, I think Russia will agree with me at least. Field Marshal Urban denounced internationally. The nations of Europe, after receiving a judicial report, have denounced the actions of Field Marshal Urban. Through the hopes of him being arrested are likely impossible. His reputation has been ruined and may never be healed. I don't think it's enough. It's not enough. But hey. They probably just lost a general. Oh. With the help of France, it looks like we're beginning to win something. Hey, that's cool. France. We're losing some troops here. Would you I feel like we really are going to start losing some troops here, France. We don't have that many. We don't have that many. We don't have that much infantry equipment, you see. I sure hope my troops know when to retreat. Do they know when to retreat? That doesn't look like they know when to retreat. I'm gonna have to forcibly pull them back from Milan. I won't pull them back from over here because that's a good area that we need to fight up with. But actually, we need to do some army stuff. Yeah. Support equipment. Ooh, that's good. Well, it's not good. We need support equipment, but we have no guns for it. We have no weapons for it. Suppose I could ask for support equipment. Yeah. No? I guess maybe they don't have support equipment. Oh, are we just gonna go ahead and encircle Milan? Is this what I'm hearing? We're gonna go ahead and encircle Milan. Okay. Yep. We're just gonna go ahead and just give the order to just go ahead and just insert. Yep. We're just gonna walk down and encircle Milan. Oh. Never mind, I guess. Even though we probably could. Yeah, Milan's gone. If they can naval invade Venezia, as it's so called right now, if they naval invade Venezia, then I believe we've already won this the Austrian War. I'm gonna order one division to just go like way around here. Oh wait, I can't. Never mind. Okay, just go in. Yeah. We can make support equipment. It's just that I need like. Okay, France, could you at least give me garrison support? You don't really need more foreign manpower? We don't? Do we not need more foreign man? I feel like maybe we do. Oh, we have a ministry of war. Okay, so let's do this, right? Let's go all the way down here, I suppose. I don't know how any of these are, like, actually... well indeed. I've just gone to war with Austria.
You what?
Just gone to war with Austria.
Oh, you did.
That's well, it's both, I suppose. Oh, hey, we just took Milan. That's good. Okay, yeah, keep going all the way to Venice, all the way to Vienna, all the way to Vienna instead. You know what? How about that? All the way to Vienna. Yeah, we cannot afford. We have no more. Yeah, we are going to have to pull another. We're gonna have to go with our fan suggestion here, and
What's that?
where are my elections? Here they are. We're now going to have to go to our mobilization laws, and now we're going to go with There we go. Hopefully they'll work now. I mean, we're at war now, so why... Yeah, everyone understands now that... The Bologna junta. Following the exit of Austrian troops from Bologna, Marquis Giuliano Napoleon Pepu, cousin of Napoleon III, announced the papal sovereignty of the legation of Romagna had lapsed and a military junta was installed. Marquis Massimio de Azeglio is supposedly on his way through the legation in order to set up an assembly. It is expected that the assembly will vote for annexation into Sardinia Piedmont in the future. The Bologna. The Bologna Revolt is just the most recent in a series of revolts in the central Italian states. With the conclusion of the Austro-Sardinian War almost complete, the once dreams of Italian unity may soon be reality. What? Oh? Did we just... Sardinia and Piedmont defeats Austria. Sardinia and Piedmont and their allies have defeated Austria at their puppet kingdom of Lombardy, Venetia, and their puppet kingdom in Lombardy, Venetia. Just a decade ago, the forces of Sardinia and Piedmont were defeated as they invaded Lombardy, and many assumed liberal goals of the revolutions in 1848 failed. After the Crimean War, Sardinia and Piedmont took their claims of Italian unification to the peace talks. Now, the possibility of a unified Italian state is more the real than ever. Not only has Austria's influence in the Italian peninsula been weakened, but the central autocratic states have seen revolutions by popular movements hoping to see a unified Italian state. Well, the Kingdom of Lombardy Venetia is not so Lombardy anymore. We own that. Yeah. Heck yeah.
He just finished Snowbell's food.
Oh. Oh.
Anyway, is it going the way you planned it?
Yeah, I'd say it's going fairly well. The war ends. What? Behind our backs, Napoleon III has met with Emperor Francis Joseph of the First of Austria in the so-called Conference of Villafranca with the hopes for a preliminary peace. What? According to the treaty, we shall only receive No. France, during my Sioux game, you gave them everything. But when I play, you give me nothing? We shall only receive Lombardy. We were supposed to receive Trentino and Veneto and Venice. Moreover, the Grand Duke of Tuscany and the Duke of Modena will be restored to the thrones of Tuscany and Modena. These states, together with the addition of Venetia, which is to remain firmly in Austrian hands, will be conjoined in an Italian federation overseen by Austria and France. In compensation, Napoleon III has half-heartedly agreed to allow us annexation of Parma beside Lombardy. This peace both assures continued foreign domination over Italy and leaves us in a position of vulnerability to which the continuation of the Risorgimento seems unlikely. With a general sense of betrayal by the French, riots have arisen all over the kingdom. Oh, you! You! Well, that seems completely...
Just had to go with France, didn't you?
I did. There was no other way to do that, by the way. That seems unfair. That seems like there's a player singling target thing here. Because during the Sioux game, the French didn't do any of that. They just gave Sardinia everything. That was okay. But during this, because a player is playing it, suddenly they're stabbed in the back and nothing goes, what? Status of the Central States. As it becomes clear that citizenry of the Central Italian states are unwilling to accept the terms of the Villafranca Armistice, many wonder what the status of the Central States will be. Since the outbreak of the war, the Central States largely became under control of Italian revolutionaries and saw Sardinian troops occupy much of the land. Foreign nations insist that the pre-existing governments and borders be reinstated. However, there seems to be little chance of this due to a lack of enforcement. We will have to wait for the conclusion of these talks before deciding on our future policy. However, our generals have advised keeping our garrisons inside these territories.
All we can do is wait.
All we can do is wait.
Interesting.
I hate this.
Well, see, that just shows you that anything can...
No, genuinely, I think there's a player targeting thing here. Well, France is certainly not going to get Savoy after this.
Why don't you see who's watching and see what they think?
They're just singing Britannia Rule the Waves. There's so much. There's so much. Will Britain join? No, I don't think so. Vote for conscription when it does. Okay. Massive division buff also. Don't think so, actually. Notice TDK is 2 generals out. Don't forget the vote. Good job. Okay. Russia will allow placing troops on Italian and Austrian border. I'm going through this quite fast because there's been so much. Britain... Hopefully Britain does. Apparently France is doing something. France did something bad. The times first take place in another island called Sodor. That's where you got your name, right? That language has a den, which is Sudrian. Huh. Sardinia needs a bigger focus tree. It does. I think it expands eventually. Yes. Encircle the capital, capture Vienna. I would. Italy shall reform Mussolini, but it works out and the king isn't a puppet. That would be cool. We will steal the troops. France, Britain for life. The thing is Britain denied us. Guys, I want to point out, I sent an alliance to Britain. I sent a thing that said, hey, Britain, would you want to help me? And Britain just outright said, no. Like, sure, you can sing Britannia rule the waves, but they betrayed us first, before France. They stabbed us in the back before France ever stabbed us in the back. And France, come on. What was that? I am going to recall my... Cavar resigns. Oh, base stability down. Of course. Not long at all.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say it's a good spot.
It's not a good spot, though.
Good spot.
No.
Alright.
Yeah, thanks. Jeez, I mean, what? Come on, guys. Why is it, I mean, you can watch my Sue game streams, my saved stream footage, and while I was playing Sue, France just gave Sardinia Piedmont everything. Literally nothing wasn't given to Sardinia Piedmont. Sardinia Piedmont literally got everything they wanted. In this, because I'm wondering if it's because a player is playing it, France just continues to stab us in the back. I mean, that's not cool. If that's a thing that actually is happening by the, like, if that's actually happening by game design, that because like you're a player. If it's a thing because you're a player, they make it harder. That's gotta be. That sucks. They should not do that. Well, at least the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom is winning. That would be an interesting thing to happen. Have them win. You know, if we had a bigger military, it wouldn't be too horrible of a job to just march to Paris. I could technically probably... At least they didn't destroy the peace deal. Yeah, Britain just decided they didn't want to be in a war. Who wouldn't? France destroyed the peace deal. Chinese Christian Kingdom was cool. Yeah, sure. Britain's too good for stupid city. Hey, that's me. You could probably invade France. I would if I had a bigger military. I would do I have the ability to just justify a war goal? Dude, I could. I could just inscribe casus belli and just... I could just inscribe a case and just go to war with them. I would, but I'm not going to. At least not right now. Also, Milan is not a core of us, so we haven't even... It started with a pig! Ha ha ha! The only thing that can get us out of such a mood. Oversimplified. A major escalation of a border dispute between the United Kingdom and the United States has finally been diffused. The escalation started June 15th over this year of the disputed San Juan Islands between Vancouver Island and the state of Washington when a U.S. citizen shot a pig on his land that belonged to his Irish neighbor who worked for the British Hudson's Bay Company. It is reported that British authorities threatened to arrest the U.S. citizen if he didn't pay the demanded compensation for the shot pig, which caused other American settlers to demand military protection. when the commanding officer in the neighboring department of Oregon, USA, dispatched soldiers to the San Juan Islands, the British promptly replied by sending their own, which in turn prompted the Americans to send even more soldiers. By August 10th, the situation had escalated so far that 461 US soldiers with 14 guns were facing off against 2,140 British soldiers with 5 warships mounting 70 guns. Thankfully, cooler heads in Washington, D.C. and London, upon receiving news about the volatile situation, have managed to negotiate an agreement allowing both sides to keep 100 soldiers on the islands, while the border dispute will be resolved by international arbitration. Let's hope that peace prevails. You know, unlike here. How long does this guy live in, like, real life? Charles Louis... Oh, formation of the Italian states. Following the affirmation of the Villafranca Peace with the Treaty of Zurich, King Victor Emmanuel met with delegates from the Central States to discuss matters relating to possible annexation. Delegates have informed the king that they have already agreed to uniting into one Central State in order to co-govern and may be willing to be annexed into Sardinia and Piedmont. In order for this process to take place, we will have to negotiate further with the French in order to avoid any political... They already stabbed us in the back! The Treaty of Zurich. The Treaty of Zurich, signed between our nation, the French, and the Austrians, meant to finalize the agreements of the Villafranca Peace we were absent from. Stipulating the return of the monarchs to the Central States, the treaty is seen unfavorably by the new government and is not expected to be enforced in any meaningful way, at least not by ourselves. I don't think the French are going to do it either. To be honest, I feel like the French don't really... I feel like they don't care either. Like, I don't think they're gonna... And no, I'm not gonna go give them as much land. They didn't help at all. So no, I'm not gonna... don't worry about that. I'm definitely not gonna be, giving France Savoy or anything. They didn't give us Venice, and they didn't give us Tyrol, so now they do not get any of our territories. Crew was puppeted. Where's that? By the Liberians. How interesting. Replacement of Eugenio Emanuele de Savoy-Caragino. The new united province of Central Italy have elected relative of Victor Emmanuel, Prince Eugenio Emanuele de Savoy-Caragino. Given the current tense negotiations with France, the king has requested that the prince step down from any position of leadership out of fear of upsetting the French, who've already lost their initial proposal of a Bonaparte king of Tuscany. Victor Emmanuel instead recommends politician Carlo Compagni di Mombello take control of the government for the central provinces until they can go through the plebiscites for unification. It is a rough game of politics, isn't it? Risorgimento will still happen, by the way. We are not stopping. We are not stopping. We are recovering and we are continuing. It doesn't matter if it seems far off. The French still love us. Even though they apparently have a strategic reason to be hostile to us, in which case I have no idea why they have decided randomly not to like us anymore. In 15 days, we'll integrate new lands, which should give us some manpower, because this is like home to 3.5 million people, more than our Piedmont territory alone, so that should be good. The status of the Central States. Despite the Treaty of Zurich outlining the return of the Central States to their respective monarchs, the lands have long since been under control of our provisional governments allied to our cause since the first days of our war with Austria. The French have not encouraged our enforcement of the treaty due to the lack of proper annexation of the Central States. This status quo has been upset by great demands from the French that have even had other nations comment on our diplomatic strangling of our nation. The British have been adamant that the French demands are subversive of Italian independence. What? How did you guys manage to... How did you guys manage to know that How did you guys manage to know? I'm waiting for the Britannia rule the waves in the chat. But how did you guys manage to know that Britain, the ones who backstabbed us first, would be the ones to literally instantly intervene? There it is. Would literally be the ones to it would be literally the ones to be the to begin with us. Okay. Hidden in plain sight. The Paris Observatory. Oh dear, it's that planet that I'm not going to read all that. We read that in the Sioux one. Some guy thought he saw a planet, but it might not actually be a planet. It doesn't. We don't know. Hey, check it out. So we have manpower now. What fun. It's time to reform the military. This time the support equipment is here, and therefore I can now spawn elite guards. I think I'm going to have Britain... I can't believe Britain's gonna be the one. I can't believe Britain's gonna be the one that... Britain Well, not only am I happy about this, but how did you all know? Have you played this before? How did you all know that Britannia would be the one to... In a recent turn of events, the United Kingdom, though with its own motives no doubt, has intervened, advocating for the Sardinian cause for unification with the central Italian states as compensation for the Sardinia Piedmont's denial of Venetia. With this change in opinion, the position of the international powers on this issue has constantly turned against French demands. It has become clear to the world that Napoleon III seeks to rearrange the borders of Europe to the benefit of France rather than over any justifiable moral cause. The French threat to leave Sardinia Piedmont may be to the mercy of Austria if the Treaty of Zurich is not upheld, may not have merit after all. Base stability 40, yeah! The return of Cavalar! King Victor Emmanuel II, hopeful with the recent changes in the status quo of the Central States, has called on Cavalar to return to the government and replace the lackluster government headed by La Marmora. It is expected that Cavalar will begin new negotiations with the French in preparation for a proper annexation of the Central States. Hello, Cavalar! Welcome back. Why did you run? You left the people. You left the people, Cavalar. Napoleon arrives in Turin. With the powers of Europe condemning France's now exposed expansionist ambitions, Napoleon has decided to meet with Cavalar to discuss an alternative accord. Having recently settled in his temporary abode, he has requested for negotiations over the new Treaty of Turin to commence. Turin, will we be able to control this at all, or are they just gonna tell us how things are? Turin renegotiations. Although Napoleon has already agreed to allow us annexation in the newly formed Italian central provinces, perhaps we can negotiate the retainment of Nice. Italian speakings for centuries and defiantly loyal, the French acquisition of Nice remained questionable ever since the meetings in Plombières took place. Napoleon accepts. Napoleon seeing Britain's increasing interest in Italian affairs and seeking repaired relations with our kingdom has reconsidered his claim on Nice and decided upon allowing her retainment of the territory. Avanti. Okay, so they did in fact gain Savoy out of their treaty, but we retained Nice, which in history stayed which it became a French city. But so we keep this now. That's nice, and we can transfer 2 of these over to our main army now that we don't have to guard Savoy anymore. That's okay. So we lost Savoy, but we stayed with Nice, and oh dear, we actually need to take those back. Britain denounces the French annexation of Savoy. Earlier this week, in his letter to the ambassador of Vienna, Lord Augustus Loftus, the then Foreign Secretary, Lord John Russell, said voting in Savoy is a farce. We are neither entertained nor edified. The inscription on the letter has since been leaked and gained notoriety. Many Frenchmen see this as a direct provocation by the British government. This complicates things. Yes, take back Savoy. We can own that too. You are in for it now, France. We have Britain. You cannot stop us. Okay, now we annex the Central Italian states. Savoy pleas for re-annexation. Protests against the French annexation in the region of Savoy have become widespread, especially in that of Chambéry, where violence has broken out against the French occupation. The populace of Savoy has gone even so far as to send a declaration to both Illurid, Napoleon III, and the Swiss Federal Council under the presentation of a manifesto together with petitions to state that they did not wish to become French, discreetly outlining their preference to remain united with His Majesty Emmanuel II or to be annexed to Switzerland in the case of separation with our kingdom being unavoidable. You know what? Swiss neutrality. I'm fine with that. Even if they become annexed by Switzerland, it's better than France. So you know what? Even if Savoy ends up Swiss, even if they end up Swiss, that'll be better than if they stay French. the origin of species. Around scientists in the field of biology, so that's this... The guy released a biology book. That's about it. That's about it. I remember reading that whole thing. That's a huge text thing. Ba-ba-ba. Electric power provides a different source of power than steam. The low power output from batteries prevent it from having much use. Well, still. Let's see. Let's see if the Swiss can... let's see if the Swiss help us. Or if we still annex Central Italian states here. Well, there we are there! Da 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 da. Bum bum bum. We now on Florence, by the way, Steam. Publishing of the War of Nicaragua. Okay. So... basically, the U.S. intervened in Nicaragua, and the U.S. wrote a book about it and blamed the U.S. Navy for failure. I remember how that one went as well, because I read that in the Sue game. And they're all very, very long, and I'm not going to read them all. Ah. Why is Sardinia and Austria so... Bum ba-da-bum bum. Ba-bum bum 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 ba-da-bum. Bum, 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 ba-da-bum. Despite not outwardly supporting his beliefs, or many of his actions, Garibaldi is a necessary and key figure for the Risorgimento. He's also our current defense leader, I want to point out. He is an unmatched military leader, and his bands of soldiers, which grow by the day, should prove to be a useful assistance in the unification of Italy. We can offer him backdoor support so that our hands are clean in his actions. Go ahead, Garibaldi, become the dictator, because I know that you do. Given the difficulty in justifying casus belli against the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, it would be more beneficial to stick with Garibaldi's plan and play dumb. Garibaldi plans to take some steamships in the night and land in Sicily with his volunteers. The plan gives us the ability to deny involvement and keep our support hidden. While Garibaldi advances from the south, we can take the opportunity to advance from the north. Turn a blind eye. We're gonna go send... We're gonna go send Garibaldi, and he's gonna go land in Palermo. He's gonna go take over the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Bologna will basically probably force the Pope. You know what? I wonder if we just go ahead and annex the Vatican City too. Just out of pure for the meme energy. Just out of pure for the meme. Just don't let them even have Vatican City. Just like we grabbed Monaco and didn't let the French have Nice. Also, Savoy thing's still going on, right? Like France and the Swiss, like we have a good we're chill with that, right? Like the Savoy is either gonna go to Switzerland or it's gonna go back to us. Like I don't think France can afford to really keep it right now. They're in a tight spot because of Britain, I think, still. Sokoto Caliphate? Oh, the Sokoto Caliphate's doing fairly well. Telegraph network. We're entering a stable place. We're gonna get some research bonuses, and then we're gonna go send Garibaldi to go take some more land for us. And then I wonder if we just force the Pope out. If there's nothing that comes up, then I'm not gonna do anything with San Marino. Like, San Marino can just stay chill. I think it'd be fun to just have San Marino just chill, just stay, right? So I'm gonna have San Marino just chill, unless something comes up that says, do you want to annex San Marino? Then I'll do that. But if nothing comes up, then I'm not gonna go out of my way for it, you know? Why go out of my way to go? Hold a world fair? Yo! I can hold a world fair? Am I a major power? Yo, I'm a great power, it looks like. Okay. Hold a world fair. Just let us legislative power and money. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Begin the world fair preparations. Necessary paperwork has been filled out, and the host city is now ready to take on the task to prepare for the upcoming World Fair. For the next 5 months, we must take the necessary decisions in order to make the World Fair as successful as possible. Cool. Review the budget. In order to successfully host the World Fair, we must decide on an appropriate budget. Higher budget, more to impress foreign visitors and improve the prestige. We should make sure not to ruin ourselves spending more than we can, possibly getting into debt. Spare no expenses! We might lose some legislative power of that. Even the main buildings. Designing the main buildings. An important part of our World Fair is designing of the main buildings in adequate fashion. We can always choose to focus on style and hire the top architects in order to impress the visitors, or alternatively we can focus on using the newest technology and construction materials to impress the world with our industrial achievements. Lastly, if we have a lot of money and resources, we can opt to make the venues as lavish as possible. The aesthetic and technological values of this may be questionable. Big and luxury. Oh dear, will I be able to do this? I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be like doing the Expedition of the Thousand and also like consistently worrying over the World Fair at the same time. I hope something comes in that'll give me some political power, some legislative power as it's called in this mod, or I am not going to be able to do that World Fair fairly well. Like that was not a pun that I meant to do, by the way, fairly well. Seriously, if I don't get some potential power here, potential legislative power here, I am not going to be able to do this. Oh dear, the World Fair, the World Fair. I tried to hold a World Fair and got myself so in debt with it. How horrible is such a thing? Woe is Sardinia Piedmont. You know, we were backstabbed by the French and then we spent too much trying to impress the world. Although if we can do this, if we can do this, perhaps we can impress France just enough. Perhaps we impress France just enough. And maybe they'll help us do something. I don't know. East India Company has... Ooh, okay. East India Company has expanded, nearly forming India now. Doctrines available. Nice. How's Taiping looking? Yo! Taiping is looking, indeed. Check that out. They are going. They are expanding. I don't think they're kind of stagnant right now. Well, they're mildly stagnant. They're still taking over like the areas near Shanghai. They're still taking the areas near Shanghai. Ironside steam freighters. Nice. Yay. Expedition of the Thousand. Here we go! Off to go invade the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Hopefully he does well. You know, it's our defense leader right now. I really need something that'll give me some legislative power, otherwise I'm not going to be able to actively give anyone, like, an invitation to the fair. I'll hold the most lavish thing ever. Like, the world won't be able to keep up with how lavish this fair is going to be, but nobody's going to show up because nobody got an invitation. It's going to be like, we held a world fair, but we only gave it to ourselves. It sounds like the title of the Mr. Beast video, if he was more selfish. While the world is distracted with previous events, Garibaldi leads a landing of only 1,000 of his soldiers at the city of Marsala and on the island of Sicily. He continues north, accompanied on his way up the coast by fellow revolutionaries and soldiers against Bourbon rule in the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. His victory shall be swift. The departure. Garibaldi and his army of the 1,000 have departed from Genoa in the steamboats Piedmont and Lombardo. The official story will naturally be that Garibaldi and his men stole the ships for their crusade. Is still nervous of the French reaction to the... somebody is still nervous of the French reaction to the expedition and the risk that Garibaldi goes off course. Garibaldi stops in Telamone. Supposedly due to lack of gunpowder, Garibaldi and his expedition have stopped in the Tuscan coastal town of Telamone to resupply. From the old fort there, he was able to recover ammunition, 3 old cannons, and 100 rifles from the Sardinian garrison. Stops at Porto Santo Stefano. Garibaldi and his expedition have again made a stop while on the trip to Sicily, this time in Porto Santo Stefano, capital of Monte Argentino. He obtained arms and coal under official license due to his title of Major General of the Royal Army. Despite the seemingly necessary nature of the stop, reports are developing of another reason for the stop. According to the local reports, Garibaldi ordered his Colonel Calamaco Zambiacanani and 64 of the volunteers to leave the expedition in an attempt to cause an insurrection in the Papal States. What is he thinking? The Papal insurrection. Colonel Calamaco Zambianici was able to recruit 200 men from the region to reinforce the 64 volunteers that joined him. After bolstering his force, Zambianici began looting in the Papal States before being met by Pontifical Colonel Georges de Pimodian and his riflemen. Much to our disappointment, the Papal troops were assisted by local peasants and Zambianici was forced to retreat. Our government now fears the reaction of France, an ally of the Papal States. We've ordered a ship to sail to Tuscany and arrest Zambianici, who claims Garibaldi's plan was to convince the Bourbons to leave Sicily undefended in defense of Abruzzo. What did you do? The expedition lands in Marsala. Following an unusual route and avoiding the original landing spot in Siacha, Garibaldi has landed in Marsala. Though not getting the reaction from the populace as expected, there has been little resistance to the initial landing. Officially, he's joined the European nations in denouncing Garibaldi as a bandit, but in reality, we hope Garibaldi is able to have success in Sicily. The Expedition of the 1,000. Garibaldi's Expedition of the 1,000 landed in Sicily in a war of liberation against the Bourbon Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Though other Italian states claim not to be involved, there is little doubt that the expedition is of the next step in the Risorgimento and the greater formation of an Italian state. The Bourbon army has been slow to respond. It seems that Garibaldi has the popular support in Sicily. Until they still have the popular support in Sicily, I don't know why the heck we went to go attack the Papal States. Setting off during the guise of night using a few steamships, Garibaldi and his volunteers landed in Palermo with a goal to invade the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Though officially our government denies knowledge of this, the reality is we are in constant communication with Garibaldi in order to bring these lands to the new Italian nation, and the king much approves of his invasion. Good luck, Garibaldi. The Battle of Calatafimi. The expedition was able to land in Marsala and advance inland without much interference from the unprepared Bourbon army. After stopping in Salemi to reorganize the additional Sicilian volunteers that joined the expedition, Garibaldi's army advanced to the northern Bourbon position in a bold offensive maneuver. The soldiers of the Neapolitan hunters were no match for the accuracy of Garibaldi's hunters and a brave bayonet counterattack. Though initially successful, Bixio and many of the officers of the expedition were prepared to retreat when Garibaldi himself rode to the front of the columns, declaring that Italians here we must die. Seeing the sight of Garibaldi and even the morale of the volunteers, the Bourbons retreated in such a fashion that even Garibaldi was too stunned to order a counter-attack. Oh, yo! A massacre of Partinico. A lot of massacres, unfortunate. On the advance to Palermo, following the Battle of Calatafimi, there have been much witness to the destruction left by the retreating Bourbon army. The disorganized column has enacted forced requisitions on townsfolk in their wake. In the town of Alacamo, the column took fire from citizens who heard of Garibaldi's great victory. Rumors of the victory and that the men of the expedition were supernatural forces inspired the citizens of Partinico to prepare an ambush for the advancing Bourbon army. Once in the town, the soldiers fired upon by citizens. The soldiers managed to respond by burning down 60 homes, robbing away, and killing some women and children. That's horrible. However, the Bourbon army was already weakened and refused to be stuck in the town, retreating and leaving the wounded. When Garibaldi arrived in the town, he found the citizens had brutally murdered the wounded soldiers left behind. Holy crap. Some were killed in brutal... Oh, wow. Some were killed and... Wow. Geez. So... Italians are always brutal. Why is it like that the Italians are just consistently just like... Why is it that the Italians are just like consistently just... Italians killed by Italians. How horrible. Although it just proves that we're the righteous right now. It only proves to be... Oh, here it is! Here it is. Santo Stefano Prison Revolt. This is the thing I was talking about in our last stream. Following the exit of most of the garrison to defend the homeland, the prison island Santo Stefano of the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies has been declared to be an independent republic following a riot by prisoners. Nearly 800 prisoners easily overtook the remaining 40 guards, and the two groups seemingly formed a junta together called the Commission for Good Order. The community has apparently created a statute and also formed a functioning senate. Rumors also come from the island of the judicial system in place in the former prison island. Pasquale Arado was sentenced to 50 beatings, 30 years of isolation for stealing flour. Antonio Margato was for stealing timber and grapes from a vineyard on the island. Margato was forced to run around the island with stolen goods tied to his body. As if things couldn't get any stranger, the Republic of Santo Stefano is also handing out death sentences for some who do not uphold the statute. Giuseppe Sabio was guilty of stealing a goat. He was found in the cemetery, roasting the goat, and he was stabbed and his body thrown off a cliff. Jeez, why is it that the Italians are always so brutal? I mean, it's just constant at this point. Like, since the days of the Roman Empire, guys. Regardless, we need a new defense minister now that Garibaldi's down going crazy. I'm gonna enlist Enrico Cialdini. Yep, and we had a different guy as well, I guess. Fernati. Yep, there we go. And they'll be responsible for maybe invading the Papal States if we need to, I guess. France, are you going to give us back Savoy at all? Come on, Garibaldi, you got this. These two divisions need to hold off these guys so that Palermo can fall. I wish I could send volunteers, but I don't think I can, right? Yeah, no. We're allied with them. Join the war instead. But I can't join their war because we're not allowed to, as declared neutrality, yeah. Oh, East India Company. Yo, the Palermo insurrection. The Expedition of the Thousand, reinforced by thousands of civilian volunteers, captured Palermo. Though a stiff resistance was given by the remaining Bourbon troops and much of the city was bombarded or set ablaze, the citizens of the Sicilian capital are finally free. Garibaldi has started reorganizing his forces as reinforcements began to pour into the port of Palermo in preparation to advance to Messina. Despite the cheers of victory, many are mourning in Palermo. English Admiral Mundy, who was present in the port, wrote that an entire neighborhood, 1,100 yards wide, is in ashes. Entire families have been burned alive together with their homes. Well, the atrocities of the real troops are indescribable. Well, I'm glad that at least we can see that the two Sicilies were just so horrible and we were completely correct in invading them, although I think they're sending more troops now. Alexandre Dumas disembarks in Palermo. Alexandre Dumas, famous writer, playwright, and personal friend of Garibaldi, has arrived on his yacht in Palermo. Set to be on a cruise, the great writer decided to stop in Palermo to unload weapons, a few volunteers, and of course champagne. Dumas was witness to the Battle of Calafimi and plans to follow the Expedition of the Thousand during the conquest of the south. The arrival of Dumas is also joined by the arrival of many new characters to Palermo. Nandor Eber, correspondent of the British Times, is enlisted as a colonel, and many international newspapers have arrived to witness the battles. One observer wrote that in Palermo we do not hear either the thefts, the murders, or the other violence of 1848. All support is welcome. The Expedition of the Thousand gets a whole bunch of stuff. Declaration of the Dictatorship. Alright. With Sicily firmly under the control of Garibaldi and his men, bolstered by the arrival of troops both from home and the countryside, Garibaldi has taken the initiative to declare the Dictatorship of Sicily. The exact text of the decree will be the first time that King Victor Emmanuel is referenced as the King of Italy, and confirms that Garibaldi will submit to the Kingdom of Sardinia when the time comes. The decree states as follows. Giuseppe Garibaldi, Commander-in-Chief of the National Army in Sicily, at the invitation of the main citizens, and that the free municipalities of the island, considering that in the time of war it is necessary in the civil and military powers are concentrated in the same hand, decree that he takes, in the name of Vittorio Emanuele, King of Italy, the Dictatorship of Sicily. Okay, yeah. Dictatorship of Garibaldi, yep. Oh, I shouldn't have done the National Fair thing. I mean, I guess it could work. Abraham Lincoln becomes an 1860 president-elect. Oh dear, nobody has received an invitation to the World Fair, but hopefully that'll be okay. Right? Oh, I see. We don't have to, like... Well, I think Garibaldi's doing fairly well so far, to be honest. Garibaldi's like... Even without us helping him out, like we've been. All we need to do is invite the participants now. At this point, I think we'll be okay. Garibaldi can hold off. An important part: do we focus on Garibaldi, or you know, the World Fair? Because I feel like maybe the World Fair will give us enough support to like publicly endorse Garibaldi or something. But at the same time, I don't think there's a specific, oh, can we do this whenever we want? I'm gonna spawn a little something for Garibaldi then. I'm gonna, whoop. Oh, Rubber Navy defects to our, whoa, okay. I'm gonna send a little bit of manpower to Garibaldi then. Keep up the offensive, buddy. Continue on. World Fair cancelled. Oh no! Do not innovate to prepare properly in time. The World Fair has been cancelled and we suffered an international humiliation. Aww. Well, that's horrible. We can always do it sometime at some other time. That's okay. International humiliation. I mean, now I guess we're not so far off from France, huh? Huh! Oh yeah, I forgot to look up. When does Charles Louis Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon III, he dies in 73. He dies in 13 years in history. This backstabber. This is all a game. I mean, the death date of the real king is real, but this is all a game, and it all happened like 200 years ago, so don't worry. Emperor Franz Joseph enacts the Constitution following the humiliating defeat in Italy, and nobody likes that. I've read this before. He enacts the Constitution, yet nobody likes the Constitution for some reason. I don't know. Less stability for Austria, good. Good. Less, and you know what? Because the World Fair was cancelled, now I have more political power to spend on advancing Garibaldi. Collapse the Qing Empire. Earlier today, rebel forces seized Beijing and forced the Qing government to exile in the north. The Tibetans and Mongolians have also taken a chance and declared independence. The new emperor has claimed the mandate for themselves and looks to cement their rule among the other regions of China, subduing those who refuse to kowtow to the new empire. One China is like another heavenly kingdom. Qing pretender state. The Heavenly Kingdom is now... Okay, well, the Heavenly Kingdom won. Circassian Aid Committee. Circassian Aid Committee was recently formed in the United Kingdom in response to the exodus of the Circassian... Okay, so the Russian Empire basically exiled a whole bunch of people. I remember this one as well. Sending a whole bunch of help to Garibaldi, as much as I can. If he takes Messina, then they're encircled. Also, I think they have more equipment than the Sicilians do. Yeah, I think they're going to run out of equipment. I think the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies is going to run out of equipment before they do any of this. Call services. Giovanni Pantaleo and the clergy. Giovanni Pantaleo, the member of the clergy who joined the Southern Army, has long been a supporter of liberty in the Bourbon Kingdom. Now, with Garibaldi's advance through Sicily, has begun converting many other members of the clergy to support the expedition. Garibaldi himself appointed Pantaleo chaplain of the Southern Army and spoke of him that he admirably benefited our things, and he had no equal in lifting peoples up and falling in love with the crusade against tyranny. Pantaleo has been instrumental in the mobilization of the Sicilians into the ranks of the expedition. Another hero of the Risorgimento. I think they might actually take Messina. Well, maybe not. Maybe they won't take Messina first. Regardless, they will go, I believe they're gonna go all the way up. Like, I'm just watching, like, massive destruction and battles take place over Sicily, and, like, there's some nice jazz music playing in the back. What's on? The Thought of You, 409. Southerners secede. Oh, dear! The American Civil War is about to begin. Chat check will Garibaldi's goes in the beginning. Here we go again. Florence, yay Florence, make it the capital. Florence the win. I might. When we unify. Cool, Garibaldi, yay, fairs. Oh, here we go again. We don't need another 2008 in the world, TDKG. Back, can anyone just get along? Apparently not. Italians, or you might say, oh, I'm descended from Italians. Very funny, I know. The Pope is the worst man in the Italian peninsula at this point in time. Not in modern time, though. Cool. Now put, Garibaldi in charge. Go nationalist. No, I was excited for the World Fair. No, yeah. Dalai Lama is back. China Jubilee like 1860s version 1930s China. Love the 1800s music. Okay. I love the 1800s music as well. Bourbon Navy defects to our cause. This morning, the Bourbon Naval Administrators surrendered to the two Sicilies naval assets to our cause under a ceasefire status. The two Sicilies' greatest asset has abandoned them. The heart of the Bourbon Kingdom lies exposed. Potenza Uprising. According to recent reports from the Basilicata region, Lucanian insurgents led by Nicolu Mignogna attacked and seized the Lucanian capital of Potenza from its 400-man Bourbon garrison. The proposed Bourbon provisional government, as indicated by Neapolitan General Flores, commander of Neapolitan forces in Puglia, has since reported the complete rejection of Bourbon administration by the local Lazzaroni. The 400 gendarmes, I believe that's just an army garrison, ordered to garrison the capital city of Potenza at first appeared to yield to the imposing popular manifestation, but directly afterwards, at the cry of "Long live the King" and "Death to the Nation" set up by Captain Castagna, they fought futilely against the insurrectionist forces, but were repulsed and fled, leaving 7 dead, 3 wounded, and 15 prisoners to the rebel Lucanians. Those who were dispersed surrendered one after the other. Basilicata falls. The capture of Sicily. The island of Sicily has fallen completely to the expedition of the 1,000 in Garibaldi. The last Bourbon troops signed an agreement with Medici to seize hostilities and embarked to Naples. Now with Sicily tamed, plans are being drawn for landings in Calabria to surround the Bourbon army there. With the capture of Sicily, many of the volunteers, now numbering the tens of thousands, have decided to return to their homes in hopes of rebuilding. The southern army is still nearly 20,000 strong, but the loss of the many volunteers will be felt greatly. Delete Sicilian volunteers. Oh yeah, we're alright. Yeah, we're alright. Reggio Calabria falls to the forces of Garibaldi. In Calabria, Garibaldi has found the opposition even feebler than in Sicily. Although Neapolitan generals had 16,000 soldiers stationed in the toe of Italy, prepared to apprehend Garibaldi upon his crossing of the strait, they put up little resistance and many submitted without firing a shot. One battalion surrendered to 6 wandering Garibaldini who had got lost. According to witness accounts from Naples, the Neapolitan Minister of War announced the following morning that he was departing for Calabria to defeat Garibaldi and retake Reggio, but then changed his mind that same afternoon due to considerations of his presence in the capital being essential to prevent disorder. Even the people of Naples are discontent. Let us continue. Let us continue on. I believe we're going to be able to hold a world fair still, so we might not be completely. Landing in Cosenza. I'm not going to read that. We landed in Cosenza. Okay, we landed in Cosenza. They liked us too, and therefore we landed in Cosenza. That's the main gist of it. All right. I'm not going to do everything. Siege on Fort Sumter. Fort Sumter issue. Here goes. France proposes the Treaty of Chambéry. With Garibaldi's decree that he would advance to Rome and Venice, the powers of Europe cower in fear of the movements that he could inspire. The French proposed the Treaty of Chambéry, which would allow us to advance into the Papal marches without any foreign intervention. With a direct border to the Bourbon Kingdom, we would be able to enter Naples and stop Garibaldi in his tracks, sign the treaty, begin the southern invasion. Boom! The Vine Boom. Sardinia and Piedmont declared war on the Papal States. The invasion of the 2 Sicilies. Onward, soldiers. Garibaldi decrees march to Rome and Venice. With much of the Bourbon forces in full retreat and the exodus of King Francis from Naples, Garibaldi has decreed that his army shall march all the way to Rome and Venice to unite all people of Italy. This new decree has caused much stir in the political theater of Europe as powers fear the possible fever Garibaldi could inspire in the revolutionary populaces. Some claim that the French have plans to ensure that Sardinia and Piedmont stops Garibaldi before he is able to get to Rome. But these stories have not been confirmed. It is not clear now that the people of Italy are nearly victorious in their cause and unification is close. Insurrection in Puglia. Basically, there was a big... Yeah, so they like the king as well. I can't believe it. What a lol movement. What a... Oh, I get the control of the Puglians? Okay, yeah, I get control of the Puglian Rebellion. Okay. Sure, yeah. Go. Let's stack them back. And in other news... Second great unification in physics. Okay, so physics just went through a revolution as well. Cool, nice, fine. I mean, it's not cool or nice, but it's fine. Diddle-doo, what's that mean? Sardinia and Piedmont and Paul States signed a white peace. Yo! We have marched. We have marched. I'll take the Pope eventually. For now. October Campaign Massacre. General Cialdi of the Northern Army has been advancing south for quite some time now. During the so-called October Campaign, after the capture of Campana's garrisoning the cities of Ponte Lafo, the murder of 45 Piedmontese garrisons angered Cialdi, causing him to single out and execute pro-Bourbonist soldiers and civilians. What has been mostly embarrassing for the national government is ruthlessness and lack of prudence in determining whether or not the victims truly supported Bourbonism. Humiliation for the Italian people murdering on. Oh dear. Well, let's fire the dude. Why don't we fire the guy? The first move is to fire this guy. We advance. We move. Opposition returns. What do you mean opposition returns? There is no opposition. There's completely and totally no opposition to this. To us. See, the only thing we're doing is winning. Hey guys, would you mind, like, could they all like us, right? Could we request some military aid from them? Or something? I guess France still likes us at least. For some reason. I don't know why France likes us. They stab us in the back and yet they still enjoy our company. And they better keep enjoying our company or else we're gonna do something in the 1930s. I like the song, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to skip it because I feel like that could be copyrighted. Just because. Wow. Sicilians are leaving the front lines to go help the south, and yet that just means that we have free territory to take as well. Oh, yo, we can just take Napoo right now. We could take Napoo. The war would be over, but the IIs aren't going to think about that. Wow. Are our forces really this powerful? Or is it just because they, like, got a whole bunch of... They got, like, massively weaker? Were our forces always this powerful, or was it just that they got, like, totally weak and the Russian Empire backs down the Tsushima conflict? National embarrassment for Russia, of course. World Fair cancelled. Oh no! Let's invite the participants. Prepare for the World Fair. This time, the preparations are complete. Let the fair begin. 1861 Piedmont World Fair. The Piedmont World Fair started today and will be ongoing for over a month. The fair was inaugurated by King Victor Emmanuel II in attendance of Prime Minister Camillo Benzo de Cavour and the rest of the royal family and high-level state officials. Several nations from around the world attended the fair, which can be hailed as a total failure? What do you mean? Piedmont invested very little money and resources into putting up this World Fair. What? What? I spent like 400 political power. Very little money. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. The two Sicilies only have Napoli at this point. Napoli is their only hope. And yet even that begins to fall. The Marines, didn't we already establish that the Royal Navy had, like, joined us or whatever? Regardless, we're gonna have to take down their forces. Advancements in military strategy. Cool. Team 2 Sicily is capitulated. Nice. Garibaldi, look, you did a lot. And to be honest, why would you supervise state? Why would you supervise the state? No, Garibaldi, are you going? Are you going? Southern Rebellion was puppeted. No, I don't want the Southern Rebellion to be puppeted. Okay, Garibaldi. Southern Rebellion does not exist. Annexation into Garibaldi. What did you do? You puppeted. You puppeted our enemies, Garibaldi. What did you do? The American Civil War. I will forgive you to watch this. This is horrible. I will forgive you for a moment to watch. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I should stop streaming soon. Soon. Not sure. Oh, okay, here's my mouse. Alright. I have no focus right now, which means I get a lot of political stability. Reopen a textile mill. Nice, yeah, sure, I can do that. World Fair concluded. After a whole month running, World Fair has been concluded. Disgraceful failure? What do you mean? We'll hold another one soon enough. Serving the American Civil War. Army experience plus 5 daily. That's good. I can't do anything, I want to point out, until Southern Rebellion, until the Southern Rebellion is completely annexed. I can't do anything. It's time to reunite with us, Garibaldi. It is time. You have won. You have won, and now. You have won, and now it is time. Wars and conflicts. Oh, I see. Okay. So basically in 90 days, we can just do that. We'll be able to do something like annex Garibaldi in like 90 days. That's fine. You know, the Pope is on their own now. We could quite technically just go in advance. Just onward. You know what I mean? Dictatorship of Sicily. They're already encircling the Pope at least. Re-escalation of the Argentine Civil War. Buenos Aires is attacking. Well, boy, I hope the Heavenly Kingdom will be able to take back control of all this. Qing pretender state. Well, without anyone to fight, I guess, we're just gonna have to go back up and prepare with another war with Austria. I mean, just casually put some troops on their borders and make sure that, you know, nobody... Wow, they have swapped a leader. They have swapped leaders a lot. Expedition of the 1000 is over in 28 days. Hopefully all these volunteers will be added to our army, bolster our army, but I feel like they'll just be disbanded and go home. Expedition of the 1000 is over in 20 days. Also, TDK, play some Streamlined, but I'll still listen. Also, TDK, I saw you were on today. What game were you playing? Phantom Forces. I couldn't see because of your Roblox settings. Those American borders are so cringy. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, Piedmontese civilian economy is booming. That's nice. That's nice. How many civilian factories do we have? Barely any still. I don't know why we still have, like, no civilian factories. I don't know what... Either Sardinia and Piedmont or the Dictatorship of Sicily must control Gaeta and Naples. Two Sicilies has reached a greater than 90% capitulation process. I'm not sure if it's just supposed to just generally annex, you know what I mean? Just slowly just fade into annexation over time. Death of the Emperor of China Xianfeng. I'm not sure if it's just supposed to slowly fade into annexation, or if, like, because the war's over, or if that was a glitch that allowed Sicily to puppet the Southern Rebellion. Because if they puppeted the Southern Rebellion on a glitch, then I have to, like, cheat to annex them, but it's less of a cheating to annex them and more of a cheating to fix that. Dynamo. Major Greek influence. I don't know why I'm influencing the Greeks, but I'm going to. There's nothing much I can do. Dictatorship of Sicily must control both Gaeta and Naples. To Sicily must have reached greater than 90% capitulation process. Effects if not completed within 310 days. Peace with Southern Rebellion. Peace with Southern Rebellion. Dictatorship of Sicily annexes. Okay, so in 300 days we should have an annexation, I think. Railways, everyone. Everyone likes railways. Or at least you should. I need to do this, by the way, because like there's a subsidization. There's a boost to railway making, and so I'm gonna take that boost. But first, I kind of have to actually make some railways for me to build with. Okay, so I think that connects all of our that should be, wait, oh wait, we should connect these as well. Wait, Savoia? Do we? Oh, we don't want Savoia. Okay. Let's bring our current constructions down. And the concessions for railway construction speed, 25% up. Seems like we're kind of building very slowly, but it doesn't matter. We will build slowly. We have time. We have like 300 days until we annex Garibaldi. Oh. San Marino has a little focus tree. They could become a puppet of us or a separate state. Huh. Used in the Hermit Kingdom. Those young seem to refer that a revolt is taking place in the southern regions of the country. Wow, they must have annexed that revolt very fast. Yeah, pretty much. Although it's starting to cool down now, so I suppose.
Oh, I like to close your window.
Oh, yeah.
Since I was outside, I could definitely see everything inside here, so that's not...
Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it. Well, I can just, well,
just pull around the shoulder.
just the blinds?
Yes.
Okay. There it is. There we go. Oh, it's fine. You're welcome. What time is it? I know, right? Alright. British Raj has formed. It is no longer the East India Company. I'm assuming because of, you know, just how things are in the real world, they go to war with Pakistan or something. I don't know why Austria's building up such a prominent troop force on our borders. I'm not sure if it's maybe because I'm building such a prominent troop force on their borders, but I don't like it. Now we know because of before that if we want to hold another World Fair, and we will hold another World Fair, but if we want to hold another World Fair, we'll have to get our legislative power up to like 1,000. So I'm gonna wait for that if we're gonna do anything like that. Actually, I think it's about 700. We would need about 700. 700 political power. Well, I don't, as far as I know, there's nothing that says the Austrian Empire goes to war with us again. Lombardy Venetia doesn't even have a focus tree. Oh, we also have the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. And the Sicilian Navy. Oh, Poland just rose up, although, like, Poland didn't rise that far up. Polish insurrection in Russia. The Poles taken action. I don't think they often win. They have a large focus. That's like a larger focus tree than Austria for a nation that doesn't often win against in their rebellion. Like, wow. I believe we'll be able to hold another World Fair, and this one won't be a failure. Trust me. Yay, steam engines. I play Roblox Dutch Railway Simulator set in the 1950s. Why the heck am I still freaking yelling TDKGA, Vostokhois, and what if Serial gonna run the USSR? I'm not sure. I keep saying airplanes. By the way, I've seen my video yet. I have not. I'm going to get to it tonight. I have not seen the video either. That would be interesting. Within about 50 days... Well, at least Poland, like, unified into a single one rebellion movement instead of just being split all over the place. But I still don't think they're gonna last long, unfortunately. Because they have a good defense bonus against Russia, but they can attack them, which is the problem. Sight of the Enemy, 341. Huh. Good title. This song's almost got the same, like, leitmotif. I assume you guys know what a leitmotif is. It's like a signature for a certain type of something in, like, a song. It's like a symbol or a name for a certain. It's almost got the same leitmotif as Returning in Coffins. That's da dun da dun da dun 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 dun. Yeah, we're going to be able to hold another World Fair very soon. No other nations have really held a World Fair. We're apparently the only nation that has the ability to just, like, up and hold a World Fair. And you know what? I pride myself on that. Are we really sure that these guys are this powerful? I mean, are we absolutely certain? I think we'll have about 700... Yeah, we'll need about 700 to 800 political power to manage this, I think. To manage another world fair very quickly. Thanks. TDK, how's Italy doing? Italy is going quite well right now, Tommy. Thank you for asking. As soon as I get to 700 political power, I'll launch the Hold the World Fair event. Get another 2 troops. Kingdom of Spain declared war on Morocco. Colonialism. Transvaal attacked the South. Transvaal attacked the South African Republic. Okay. Let's hold the World Fair. Very nice. Review the main buildings. Luxurious as possible. Review the budget. Spare no expenses. Invite the participants. Preparations are complete. Let the fair begin. We just spent like 700 political power all at once on this. I really hope there's a good reward this time. Planning, designing, and construction phase of the World Fair venues are complete. It's now time to inaugurate the Wilder World. The Piedmont World Fair started today and will be ongoing. The fair was inaugurated by King Victor Emmanuel II, and the several nations around the world attended the fair, which can be hailed as mediocre success, as 100,000 visitors mediocre success isn't a total failure at least, as 100,000 visitors have already flocked to Piedmont to marvel at the wonder of modern science as well as to the riches of the world. The Sardinian Piedmont invested a mediocre amount of money and resources into putting up this World Fair, and while it is not one to be remembered in time, it is merely a reflection of the current state of the country. Of particular interest will be the Austrian exhibition featuring an interesting display of ethnographic material from various nationalities throughout the country, and the Russian exhibition featuring an interesting display of Finnish saunas used by the Finns to clean themselves during the harsh winters. Well, that's great. Why are the Austrians in our nation? Like, sure, great, you had an exhibition, but you're in Piedmont. I don't like the fact that the Austrians are in Piedmont. I know it's kind of like the Olympics where we held a World Fair, and, therefore, etc., they're gonna have. But, why are you there? Okay, 24 days now. Clock is ticking down to the Expedition of the 1000 finally annexing. We will finally have control over Naples and the rest of Sicily, and hopefully Garibaldi's campaign, all of Garibaldi's campaign. Effects if not completed within the... to complete. Wait. Effects if not completed. Yes, effects if not completed. Peace of Southern Rebellion. Dictatorship of Sicily. Peace of Southern Rebellion annexes. So it should annex. If it doesn't, I might have to intervene. World Fair concluded. It was a meteoric success. Nothing out of the ordinary, yet nor nothing exceptional, but we can hope this will reinforce our international standing. Great. Will they annex it now? Expedition of the 1000. Warrior Queen of the Two Sicilies. The dramatic queen, Francesco II of the Two Sicilies, Queen Consort Maria Sophia of Bavaria, has demonstrated her valor in the heat of battle. General Garibaldi's Expedition of the 1000 has proven well for our cause in unifying Italy under one banner, but his march on Naples was obstructed by the fortress of Gaeta. Middle of the siege, the Sicilian queen was witnessed benevolently supporting her soldiers, caring for the wounded, and even taking up arms with them. Her bravery is admired by the Piedmontese people. A Guerrera, warrior queen. Huh, though they have lost, they fought to the end. A Romanian officer in Garibaldi's army. Nikolai Dunka, previously an officer in the Romanian army under Alexandru Ion Cuza, has made a name for himself in the expedition of the Thousand. Due to his extensive knowledge of the Hungarians, Dunka had joined the Hungarian Legion commanded by Frigyeli Missi and sailed with the original 1,000 towards Sicily. After the Battle of Volturno, Garibaldi took notice of the skill of the young officer and promoted him to a cavalry captain. So we're just learning a bunch of stories of the people who fought now. I mean, that's cool with me, of course. That's really great. No national focus set. Does that mean that I can take one? Negotiate with Garibaldi. I can. The Polish have been put down, unfortunately. Diplomatic delegation from the Tokugawa Shogunate. The government of the Tokugawa Shogunate has sent representatives hoping to establish a permanent embassy in, I assume, Piedmont. While listening to the demands and complaints of these SMEs may be annoying, expanding connections to Asia may become fruitful. Nice welcome. Yeah, of course. Sure. We want to open up to the world as much as they want to open up to the world. Issue with Garibaldi. What? Long live Italia. Traveler and influential writer Maxime du Camp has written many wondrous novels in his times in Italy, including his participation in Giuseppe Garibaldi's expedition of the Thousand. Maxime writes of hearing the long crowds of Naples following the Seabites shouting, "Long live Italy." Afterwards, many members of the crowd asked him what Italy was, as Italy had been nothing more than a geographical region after the fall of the Romans and split into a multitude of smaller Italian states. Not to mention, many southern Italians lack any formal education. How embarrassing. Oh dear. Well, let's fix that. Time has come to claim the title of Italy for our nation. Viva l'Italia. Viva l'Italia. I'm gonna form Italy and then I'm gonna leave the stream at that point. This has got to be the most perfect, this has got to be the most, inspiring song as I slowly begin the focus that will allow me to reform Italy. I may only have 30 men in my reserves, but we will have more. Italy begins now. Watch as it ticks. Watch as it ticks. 18 out of 35. $25 out of 35. 10 days left. 9 now. Five days left. Major influence competed. Another great power is competing us over Greek influence. How should we respond to this? It's an act of war. I don't tell who will be the winner of this spat. It's an act of war. Opinion of the French Empire. The French Empire is trying to defeat our influence in Greece. Only time will tell. We're not going to pick a fight with the French. Yet. We'll pick a fight with the French in approximately 70 years. 4 days. 3 days. 2 days. 1 day. Is everyone ready? Go Nationals tomorrow night. I might. Kingdom of Italy. 4, 4, 3. Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Is it 2, 1? With steam! The unification of Italy! After a long and bitter struggle, one which many doubted, the unification of Italy is complete. The doubts prior to our success were reasonable, for just under 2 decades ago our brothers and sisters fought for Italy and her people and failed. But it was their image and their fight which inspired us to rise up against the challenge and unify the peoples of Italy. The fight is not yet finished, as the Austrians still rule over our people and the south grows unruly. Italy will be challenged again. Focus tree! We have a new focus tree! Yo, we have military, and we have politics. Italian economy, Italian culture. Italian culture, economy, Vigangi, so there's a bunch of bandits. And the Italian reaction to the US Civil War. Well, who's winning right now? Nobody. Nobody's winning. It's a stalemate currently. Although every time I've said it's a stalemate, I've said it's a stalemate so far, it immediately does not become a stalemate, right? Every time. With the American Civil War going on and our nation being newly united, our government faces a tough decision. The Confederate States would seek to use our ports as a place for their ships to dock and repair away from the eyes of the Union. The Union will seek to have our guarantee the Confederates will not have this right, and we would not recognize them as a legitimate state. Whatever our decision the government makes will have a lasting effect on our relations with whatever state comes out of the Civil War. Normally, I think the Union will win, so I'm going to give the Union support. Because it looks like a stalemate right now. I know Missouri got a little bit taken over, but I still think that it's normally the Union wins, and therefore I think that's the better choice. Unification of Italy. Here in the Benzone, the Sardinian Piedmont government has successfully unified the Italian peninsula. Following multiple conflicts and a victory against the Austrian Empire, the Italian people are finally letting out a sigh of relief. Nationalist sentiment has been growing ever since the revolutions of 1848 encouraged Sardinian Piedmont to lead the charge against a unified Italy. Many wonder what path the new nation will follow as it faces many issues, and how this new European power could shift the balance of power. Risorgimento, what scoundrels we would be if we did for ourselves what we were ready to do for Italy. Leo Benzo de Cavallar. Italy rises. The Southern Menace. Politicians and citizens alike have easily adopted the thinking the Piedmontese politicians that the South is a menace to the rest of Italy. Northern officials and peoples always viewed the South as lagging behind the rest of the peninsula. The South is the last to liberalize their constitutions. Many claim the people themselves are barbaric and uncivilized. How united are we? Well, hopefully a fair amount. I mean, come on. How did our civilian economy fail? How did we unify Italy and fail? Like, how did our economy manage to fail under like an Italian unification? Regardless, we have things to do. And that is okay. We have won. We sit now in a new state, although Austria's ever a spooky, currently spooky thing right now. We sit, 1861 elections. The 1861 elections are upon us. The newly united Italian peninsula will experience the first elections day after the completing of unifying Italy. And many look on with wonder who will be leading the new nation into the world. Many issues have been created by the unification. The path of the new nation is uncertain. Foreign policy, economic policy, elections. Okay, so who was nationalist? Who was nationalist? Did you say? Was it the right group? Is the right group, is Cavalier the nationalists? Yeah, let's go indeed. Long live Italia. Let's go, focus tree. It looks like some of it's not, like, fully completed, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Oh, wait. C's still alive. C? Well, I know Venetia's there. Venetia and the Papal States still exist. But you know what? I can crush them, okay? Like, maybe I can't crush Venetia right now. I can definitely take Rome. It's easy. It'll be easy enough for me to take Rome. But everything else, for the most part, we're unified. But who is the nationalists? Third party, Great Center, Intransigence, right group. Steam, help! Which one's the nationalist that you wanted? Oh, do I have to get, like, 1865 elections to do extreme wing victory? Probably the right. Don't forget Austria and France. Probably the right group. I'm gonna Google it. I think you have to get to 1865 because there's something called extreme wing victory, and I'm going to assume that extreme wing victory is what it is. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about with a right wing victory. There's a right wing victory and there's an extreme wing victory. I'm assuming the thing you want is in 1865, which is in 2 years. So I'm probably gonna go down the right group. Right? If I go down the right group, I'll probably go down the right group, keep Cavalier in power, and then you either go extreme wing or right wing in 1865. How does that sound? The right was neo-fascist, so yes. Oh, okay. Choose the prime minister. We're gonna choose the prime minister because we don't want, like, to not... Oh. Does that... We wanted to be able to choose the prime minister. The politics of the unified Italian state is still under effect on many sides. I said choose the prime minister instead of, like, you know what I mean? I said choose instead of just random results. So yeah, I'm gonna see if hopefully I'll be able to choose the right prime minister. And even if that doesn't, I think I can, like, auto-complete it somehow. Because it does seem like this is a little... Formation of the International Red Cross. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Pennsylvania. A little bit of Pennsylvania just got taken over. Unrest grows. Well, that's not fun. I said choose Prime Minister. Was that a bad... was that a bad thing? Did I just glitch the game somehow? I don't think I will. Increase military presence. Triggered by event. I don't think it should be triggered by event anymore. I said choose the Prime Minister. And it said select. Even if that does glitch, I can probably contact the creator of the mod to see if I can, like, fix that. So don't worry. Anyways, I think as soon as this politics thing completes, I'll be ending the stream. There we are. We will start military. And we will save the game. And without further ado, I am going to say thank you for watching. This has been a Diamond Kitty Game video, and I will see you all in the next one. Good, 4 viewers. 4 viewers! Yeah! Hopefully that'll grow. Hopefully that'll grow. Okay, thank you for watching. This has been a Diamond Kitty Game video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. I cannot... No, I closed out the game. I closed out the game. I saved and closed out the game because we completed the focus. We unified Italy. And we're going to do some more either on the weekend or tomorrow. I'm not sure. So yes, I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!